What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Sword Art Online Alicization. First off, I have to say, this episode, fucking phenomenal. But this motherfucker, I think maybe Ricky Kawahara has surpassed Tsuko as the ultimate example of douchebaggery, of a just straight up asshole. Now, I'll let you guys be the judge. I think here's something I want you all to tell me down in the comments below. Who do you think was the bigger douchebag, the bigger asshole, the guy that you just despise with with everything you have? You just loathe them the most, and you would love to go 123 bones lethal. If you've read the manga TG, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, tell me down below. What is it, Tsuko from what he did Asuna, or Humbert? Tell me down below. Because oh my god, what this motherfucker did and how nonchalant he was about it, I have no words. Now, granted, you could say Ricky Kawahara is cheap with his villains, always making them always going somewhat sexual in some direction, as just to get some cheap heat as the villains, just to hate us. Which, you're not wrong. Because, the reason we all hated Tsuko was because of what he did to Asuna, and the same reason why we hate him is because of what he did to his apprentice. But we will discuss that in greater detail when we get that part of the episode. But besides that, fucking love this episode. It was great. Love the stuff with Yujo. Definitely curious about that ending. I'll talk about that when we get there. But anyway, let us begin. Let us begin with this week's episode of SAO Alicization. So we start this episode off. We got Yujo. He's hacking away at this little boy, just training with his sword. And where he gets this flashback of Kirito, where he says, that what matters the most in your sword, it's the weight, what you put into the sword. It's hence how Volo has, his pride and the pressure of him being the son of a bunch of, Repart family that are known trainers, or the confidence that Yujo's master has because he has his body, or the skills of Leland, Kirito's master, and then why they're so good at swordsmen. And so Yujo's what should I put in mind? He's that is something for you to figure out, my friend. So Yujo's just hacking away. He's I'm not a nobleman. I'm not a swordsman. All I know has been hacking away at that axe, and hacking away at that tree with that axe. And then he remembers Alice, and I guess then he figures out what he should engrave into his sword to give it that extra weight, that extra power it needed. His desire, I guess you could say, to saving Alice and getting her back. So he's still keeping that, where we see those fucking goons, Reyes and Humbert, make the turn. We see them in their new outfits, and by God, are they fucking hideous. Jesus Christ, you got Reyes, the dude is wearing red, and you got Humbert wearing bright-ass yellow, and my God, are those colors so fucking hideous on them that I want to bleach, that I want to soak my eyes in bleach, gouge them out, pour salt on the wounds, while the nature boy Ric Flair is locking me in the figure 4 leg lock, while I have, Let It Go is playing on loop, and then I got Cardigan over there slowly breaking my fingers, going 123 bones on me. Dear God, are those colors hideous! And keep in mind, red is my favorite color, so you know that this man looks shit red if I'm complaining about a man wearing red. Jesus fucking Christ! That color is so hideous on him. He should be wearing yellow. It probably would suit him better because he has yellow hair. And Humber, why the hell is he wearing bright-ass yellow? Somebody, please explain to me this, because my brain cannot comprehend how these guys have such shit taste in clothes. I'm no fashion expert myself. You guys see me on Twitter. You guys know that all I wear is t-shirt and jeans with a watch and John C. wristband. But Jesus Christ, I have better color code. I have better color senses in these ass hats. Who the hell thought this was a good idea? Like, yes, I want to wear bright ass yellow for my costume. Like, seriously, man, so little Tyrant, but by God, are their outfits hideous? I mean, usually looks good in blue, and character looks great in black. I mean, anybody looks good in black. You literally cannot look good, not look good in black. I mean, for God's sakes, I would wear a t-shirt that's pink on it, like, you know, the color pink, if it was predominantly black, because black makes any color look good. But, anyway, little Tyrant, over with. Sorry, that just really pissed. That was just too hated for me not to go off on it. But anyway, as I was saying, so those goons show up, and you got Raz, and I'm gonna go back to my usual. Oh well, look what we have here for us now. Tell me down below if you guys want me to keep the JD James Downer beer voice. Yeah, if you want me to keep that voice for these clowns, or you want me to go back to well, look who we have here voice, tell me that down below. If you guys didn't really care about the voice. But anyway, so he says, well, I heard that Yuja was actually a tree cutter before he came here. Oh, well, isn't that something? No wonder he has such shit form. Why don't I should teach him a lesson on how to carry himself. Oh, yes, you are great, Lord Reyes. May I please suck your dick and bask into your glory, good sir? And so he offers it, like, and the dude, and Humble's like, you better accept this offer of his about his generosity to a lowly commoner like yourself. Now me, I would tell these fuckers to go fuck themselves from everything. But Yusho's like, he remembers what, we continue more with the conversation he had with Kirito, and he says more about how, the whole stuff with, like, swords applies to these asshats. Because of their conceit, that's why they're so powerful, that they are probably, higher up there, are probably decent swordsmen in their own right. And so Yujo agrees to take this offer to duel, takes this offer to see their conceit in action. So he tells Humbert, hey man, why don't we duel and, face off with each other's swords and everything. He's like, he's like, alright, fine. He's like, fine then, young disciple Yujo, I will show you my glorious sword skill. And so then they go at it. Great art animation. Usually, the first he comes at him, and then so they kind of like a little bit of sword struggle at the start. And I like how you said, if this is a test of strength, I'm winning, because I mean, let's not kid ourselves. From how long Yujo was whacking at that tree since a kid, that man probably has strength in his arms that will make Brock Lesnar blush. So when it comes to that strength, he could probably easily just overpower this guy in just something like that. But he manages to counter each other, and usually he gets like cut up by the one sword. Not to where he bleeds, but some of his clothes got cut up, and he was just about he lands a hit on the guy, and that's just like, that's it, match is done. This is ends in a draw. Let's be honest, Yujo won that fight after he sent him flying a little bit. He ends in saying it's a draw, but we know Yujo was the clear winner in this. Humboldt is disgusted, disgraced by his actions. Fuck you, and then thankfully fuck off. So yeah, I cannot get over how ugly their fucking outfits are. Jesus Christ, those outfits, those colors they picked are fucking hideous. And then right when they leave, Reyes tells him, so, next time I'll show you the real power of a noble. And he's like, oh, I would like to that lesson right now. And the dude just gives him this look of like, it's not all about swinging a sword, commoner. And runs and, takes his leave and finally fucks off. We then get back to their place, where I guess Kirito tells Yujo about the incident that happened, unless he didn't already know what happened with Kirito's flowers. And it's like, it's been 3 days, still nothing has happened. It's weird. And it's like, oh well, man, I guess I didn't break the taboo index. Now some of you might be wondering, wait. How did they not break the taboo index by destroying Kirito's flowers? I mean, sure, that counts as destruction of property or some kind of law. And yes, you would be right. Now, Chibi actually stated in his review of last week's episode that apparently there's like this loophole in the taboo index that pretty much means that nobles, they don't have to follow these laws. They can pretty much do whatever they please. So in other words, they have white privilege. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the reason why they got away with with the stuff they did Kirito. They pretty much, because they are nobles, that means they are above the law. No, then so we told them to dread. Anyway, and so then he's like, and then he's like, tells them like, they're probably just trying to get in our head by saying that they might have done something wrong. But we just need to keep our heads straight and stay cool. And Yujo's like, what did you say? Stay cool. It's like Terminator 2 when John Connor told was teaching the T-800, like 90s lingo, chill out, dickwad. Or, other shit. That's almost hilarious. And he's like, oh yeah, it's a fair. It was like, stay calm, man, stuff like that. So Kirito leaves, tells him I'm gonna go to bed, and, it tells him that, and then he's like, don't go to bed, but he can't do it tomorrow. He has to, and I love this one, but right before he leaves, he tells Kirito tells Yujo that he's not going to be pretty much that tomorrow he has some errands to run, and he kind of like imitates one of those fuckheads, like, his eyes kind of like, he just looks like, oh, sorry, tomorrow I can't do anything because I got errands to run, and I love how A1 how they animated with Kirito's eyes and everything. Like, in that moment, Kirito just reeked of douchebag. I loved it. But then he's like, oh, no, you're not. He's like, oh, man. He's like, no, man, tomorrow we're meeting up with Tyus and, Reyes? I think that's what that chick's name was. That, to do a little get-together tomorrow, and he's like, alright, fine. And he says, like, they're gonna be here at 9, so be right with it. Okay, then wake me up at 8. Like, no, that's too late. 7:30. And so then he was just kind of like, kind of looking over something about the taboo index, and he's like, how did they get away with what they did, but yet, something else happened, and he actually covers I think it was his left eye, which I'm pretty sure was actually the same eye that had that, like, error message in it when Alice got kidnapped, or got taken away, whatever you want to, so, that's interesting. So we then get to like this like forest. They kind of go in like the forest of like I think it's like like in the backyard of their place, and like this forest area where they're having pretty much a picnic, and well, shit hits the fan here. And so they're enjoying the scenery. Tyus is like, hey, Yujo senpai. He's like, oh wait, what? Nani, what? He's like, you weren't even listening, were you? I'm like, oh, sorry, Ivy. It's so beautiful out here that I just can't help it. I mean, there's so many rare animals here, like that one. And he points with golden fox, which she says those are common all over, that they're common in the city on the trees. So, there goes your argument there. But anyway. And where she then kind of pretty much, and he's like, oh yeah, Tyus, you're actually from like the 5th district, right? You're actually part of a noble family, right? And she's like, yes. And we kind of like get a little bit more world, but pretty much how about the whole like hierarchy, I guess you could say, of the nobles in Alicization, where pretty much ranks 4 and higher are pretty much the head honchos. They are like the Ryas and the Humberts, the douchebags, the higher ups. No, maybe not they're all douchebags, because Tyus is an example of a noble that's actually, a decent person, that's someone I actually kind of like, and I do hope she does keep her ready. And I do hope she does stay in because I actually really like her. She's cool, plus I love her hair color. I love that shade of red. Plus, she actually kind of reminds me of a certain character I saw in this one thing. I forget. I cannot remember what it was. Mm-hmm. Some of you may know where I'm going with that, but I'll leave it at that. So she says that only rank nobles fourth and higher are the ones that are allowed to actually live in the big swanky mansions, and she has that she doesn't actually have any judicial authority, which means she probably, like the rest of these filthy commoners, can probably break the taboo index at will and get away with it. Essentially, that's what it seems like anyway. And then she says, we're pretty much just nobles in name only since we're the fifth ranked. So yeah. And then we see the golden fox, just chilling, and her little babies are sucking on her breasts. And then the fox sounds, but at first it was jarring because I was like, wait, what? That's what the fox sounds, because it was literally as it opened his mouth to yawn, or her mouth to yawn, Yujo was doing scratch. At first I was like, wait, what? Is that what the thing actually sounds like? But then it's just Yujo, and right then and there, Talius, and actually during this whole time, while Talius is talking with Yujo, Kirito is teaching her, his apprentice, different how to counter certain things, but that was pretty cool. Seeing Kirito legit become, essentially, a Jedi Master to his Padawan. That's pretty cool, I won't lie, I like that kind of stuff. Anyway. And so, she asks him, hey, Yuzo, Kirito, I have a favor of you, which then shit gets real from here on out, and ooh, baby. So she tells him about her roommate Franca, and that her master is actually rather strict, and he has been giving her some inappropriate and interesting orders, requests over these last few days. And they're listening, and they're like, how is this not, this should have breaking the taboo index, this should have breaking it, how is it not breaking it? And so Yujo asks them, who is this master in question, this utter douchebag that you speak of? Because he also says that because of these orders, she actually cried herself to sleep all last night. And so I want you guys to just take a wild guess on who this asshole is. Guess. Come on. Just guess. Just think of somebody. If your answer was Humbert, then congratulations, you were right. And you are also a great prognosticator. Yeah. That asshole. And, she says that, that even though these may not break the taboo index, they're still rather inappropriate for a girl to do, for a female student to do. Now, I'm sure I wasn't the only one, judging from SAO's track record, that we all went to the same conclusion on what these chores, errands, these requests or orders that Humber gave his apprentice to were of a sexual nature. I'm sure I was not the only one that came to that conclusion, judging from SAO's track record with their female characters. I mean, just look at Asuna and Sion. Need I say more? Anyway, and Kirito kind of has this big epic speech about. And she starts crying, being but her father was told her, that, well, yes, we may live in a bigger house than most people. We may have privileges. We can never take those for granted, and we must use our powers so that the commoners can live in joy and peace. In other words, with great power comes great responsibility. And Kirito goes on about principle, about how, well, yes, there are some certain things that are not mentioned in the taboo index. There are certain things you just shouldn't do just based off of principle. It's WWE should have gotten out of their deal with Saudi Arabia after what happened with the journalist out of principle. And there are some certain things that the taboo might say, no, you do not do that. You should still do it based off of pure principle. And I like how his his apprentice said that, it's your own personal justice and using that along with the taboo index to come to your decision. I like that little spin they had on that. So, and Kira says, there's one man for the job to take care of this asshole. And Yuja says, yeah, it's our job. So then, they come to their room, and they're wearing fucking bathrobes, like they're Ric Flair, or Bobby Roode, or something glorious. Like, seriously, they're wearing bathrobes! What's next? You're gonna tell me they wear shades indoors? How much more douchey can these guys get? Well, a lot, actually. So, Yuja asks them and tells them, that no, we've heard an unsightly rumor, and I'm warning you, if this gets out, your reputation is fucked. And it's like, what? And he's like, oh no. And then you got jackass, Reyes be like, Yuja, what unsightly rumor are you talking about? What are you talking? I had no idea what you were talking about. And so he tells him, well, we have heard from his apprentice, from a girl that lives in her dorm, that you have been giving her orders of a deviant nature. I like that how he said deviant. And and then he's like, why do you, an interesting choice of phrasing there, Yujo. Why don't you just call it a violation of the taboo code, of the taboo index, or of the school's regulations? Like, well, it's nice of them to worry time, but then we got this motherfucker Humber with absolutely no shame. Tells them exactly what happened. So, brace yourself. So, this motherfucker's like, well, all I did was give her some trivial orders. Since after my duel with Yujo, and did such disgracefully in a draw that obviously Yujo won that fight. Let's not kid ourselves. That I have immersed myself in training, and to keep me from getting, and so I avoid drills that will give me unsightly muscles. By that I'm assuming he doesn't want to look buff, like Brock Lesnar or something, I guess. I don't know. And so, because that I ache all over the place, my whole body aches. So I would be forced to ask, Frelka to give me a massage during bath time, and that ain't even the worst part. And for outfit, so I would give her the bread. I would, tell her that, oh, okay, it's okay to strip to your fucking underwear. You heard me right. I did not stutter. He said he would let her, keyword, let her in massive air quotes, let her strip to her underwear. Now, I hope to God she kept the bra on too, because, and, now, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of who you think is the superior douchebag, who is the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low between him and Suko. I probably a little bit more time towards Suko just because of what he did, because he did it to Asuna, but I mean, I have nothing to say. And this man had absolutely no shame. He just acted so nonchalant, but like he wasn't supremely guilty of. This has to be like some sexual misconduct or something. Like, somebody, please call Chris Hansen, and because he needs to catch a predator. Seriously, guys, I've been like watching the hell out of Catch a Predator and Chris Hansen versus the Predator. Those shows are so entertaining to watch. Seriously, check it out. They're like all over YouTube. So if you haven't seen them, definitely give them a watch when you get the chance. So anyway, so after Yujo hears this, he goes for a sword, but there is no sword. He's like grabbing for a sword that isn't there just out of sheer habit. And and so he says that and so he does, since he isn't a sword there, he just tells him man, if you don't stop abusing Frelka, I will consider getting, telling the higher ups and, starting an investigation. He's like, what? He's like, and then you got Reese with the smallest mouth that don't even make Dio blush. Be like, go ahead, Yujo. Like I said, he had like the smallest mouth that would even make Dio blush. I mean, damn. And so, Yuzo hits the walls in frustration about what's happened. And, and so Kirito just said that he wanted to make sure that he didn't really reveal too much information, because otherwise they probably could have used that to, of course, get Yuzo in more trouble. And he thinks this is all probably like there's some like third party, this is all a trap against Yuzo, probably to like get him arrested or get him kicked out, because God forbid, some filthy commoner is superior to some noble. It's like, oh, huh? Nani? How is that even physically humanly possible? So, yeah. So, and Kirito tells him, like, hey man, they say something to you, and I'm not around. Keep your cool, man. He's like, right, stay cool. Yeah, stay cool. And so, Tyez comes in there for her report, and then Yuzo tells her the news about, like, they, went after, they confronted Humber, and they said, like, he's probably not going to do anything anymore, so, yeah, Frelka should be good. From there, she takes a seat, then and then pretty much, I swear to God, I could not have been the only person that got Darling in a Frank's vibes off this scene when Ichigo, like, confessed to Hiro, because essentially this whole scene, like, the end credits are playing, she is talking about, about, like, what goes on with the nobles, about, like, arranged marriages and everything, and she goes on about these tournaments, and as she slowly gets closer to Yuzo, she hugs his arm, and then she starts crying, and then she's like, if you, like, graduate, if you, like, become a high enough seed in this tournament, pretty much, like, will you marry me? I said, because she never finishes her sentence, and Yuzo's just like, alright, I'll come after you, I'll come back to you after this is all said and done. I swear to God, I could not be the only person that got Darling in a Frank's vibes from when Ichigo confessed to Hiro, because it was very similar to that scene, very similar, as it almost kind of had, like, complete, like, what the hell, where'd this come from vibe. I'd say this is probably a lot better than the stuff with Ichigo, because we never know what happened with Ichigo. Well, I was of the belief that, now, me personally, I did not suddenly hate Ichigo. Some people did. When that episode aired in Darling in France, I was like, her actions make sense. I thought it was gonna be like, because I remember I was like behind on Darling in France when this first happened, and everybody was talking about this scene. Everybody was talking like, fuck Ichigo, and I'm like, what happened? Did she, like, kill, like, 02? Did she, like, I don't know, have sex with him? Did she try to make some plan to where it looks like he was cheating on her with her? But no, it was nothing like that. Anyway, so, yeah. And so, Yuzo says he'll come back for her, and, the episode ends. So, wait, you guys hear something? My God, it's a mob of the shippers! I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there, because I already know there's gonna be a mob of shippers shipping these two up to the scene. Do I personally ship them? Not yet, but am I against this ship? No. So, maybe hopefully this could blossom and, grow more, although I already know people are gonna go at it between shipping him with Alice and shipping him with Taisei, Tyson, whatever. I already know there's gonna be a war in the community for those two, but yeah. So anyway, overall, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.